pride ourselves on the longevity of our material, and we want it to last for a good long time, and so do, for the most part, I think the vast majority of our sales force, because they know that they're going to be.
Being here. We have David Crum from Mohawk, and the question is, what attracted Mohawk to attend a convention focused on floor care?
Primarily looking for solutions. We're asked quite a bit of time to bad things happen. How do we resolve it? So we understand our product. We know there's a lot of aspects to this. Yeah, it could be an installation, but when we look for solutions, floor care is the one that has been coming up more and more. And that's what the focus of this was, and I want to learn more about that, what are options for that, so that we can provide a whole array of solutions for our customers.
We have Don Styka, Director of Field Services for Tarkett, North America. And the question for Don is, what attracted Tarkett to attend a convention focused on floor care?
Well, I think that's a no-brainer to attend a Starnet floor care conference. There's three components to a successful installation. It starts with quality product, you've got proper installation, and then obviously establishing a long-term, floor maintenance program for the customer. That not only helps us meet the customer's expectations, but it also gives them a better return on their investment.
Okay, Jim Williams from Mohawk. Jim, a shift in the industry seems to be towards utilizing brushes for all flooring types. What is Mohawk's perspective on this shift?
So in Mohawk, we recognize that brushes are a tool. They're a tool been used for many years very effectively. I tell you, our biggest thing we would talk about on brushes is softer is usually going to be better. We don't want to use brushes that are harder than the substrate that we're trying to clean. It's only going to damage it if we do. So err on the side of being soft, but brushes do a good job, particularly as more and more of the products have micro texture and things like that, where damage, dirt, debris can hide. So use your brushes, use them selectively.
All right, today we have Andy Bayler, Maintenance and Care Specialist for Tarkett, and we are at the Starnet Floor Care Convention. Andy, what attracted Tarkett to attend a convention focused on floor care?
The reason Tarkett is specifically focused on floor care and floor maintenance is that we know that it is the key to longevity in the material. You could have the best material in the world, but if it's not taken care of properly, it's not going to last very long, and that can severely affect the reputation of the material. So we kind of work off the principle that as long as the flooring is down, we're supporting it. We want to have a good network of folks that can help us support that as well.
One of the additional things that we try to offer is Milliken is a chemical company and a textile company, and we think we're pretty good at both, and we marry those together to create solutions. So we oftentimes try to do additional analysis. Like let's just don't treat it like it's dirty carpet or it's a stain that we don't. Let's maybe take a sample of it, and we have the ability to do really deep analysis.
A shift in the industry seems to be towards utilizing brushes for all flooring types. What is Tarkett's perspective on this shift?
Well, as a leading provider of rubber flooring that has a lot of different textures, we've always promoted brushes for the use on our floors, not only for a textured rubber floor, but any type of a safety floor that's got a textured surface, or anything today that really has any kind of a texture on the surface. So brushes work really well for that. Now, we've always utilized a pad for cleaning smooth surfaces, but if you look at the diversity of the flooring coverings out there today, we can use a brush on a smooth surface just as we can a pad, but we can't use a pad on a textured surface. So the brush is really more universal. It'll work on any type of a floor surface. So it's a good investment for the service provider, and if you maintain that, just cleaning it out after every use, you're going to get multiple uses, probably a couple of years out of that.
Stuff that the cleaning issues are with the grouts. Doing your due diligence to find out what the grout was it cementitious, was it acrylic, was it urethane? and you know, you're talking buildings that are 5, 10, 15 years old, or floors have been down that long, you know, do your little research and realize, you know, right off the top of the head, 15 years ago, we had two types of grout. Basic, we had epoxy or cementatious. So, you know, it's one of the two then, you can kind of identify that. So doing your homework to identify.
A shift in the industry seems to be towards utilizing brushes for all flooring types. What is Tarkett's perspective on this shift?
So brushes, specifically when it comes to surfaces like rubber, are far more effective at removing soils, removing any factory applied coatings like a mold release that may be on rubber. But when it gets into other materials, anything that has a texture, and let's face it, most things have some sort of texture to it, they're probably going to respond better to the use of a brush as opposed to a pad. Primarily because the brush is going to get down into that texture and do a good job. One of the side effects of using a brush as opposed to a pad on let's say conventional resilient materials is that brushes tend to outlast pads by quite a bit. Some old math from a long time ago told me that one brush would outlast anywhere from 100 to 150 cases of pads over the life of that brush. You can realize a savings of about $3,500. That's not in today's money. That is in, let's say, 2005's money. So I'm sure that it's better now. I just haven't done the calculations on it since then. And so that's in relationship to resilient materials. Now, when it comes to soft surfaces, the cylindrical brushes that operate under any CRB type equipment, whether it's a foaming floors or others that are out there, we know that those brushes are going to do a better job of getting down to the back of the fiber, lifting the pile up, lifting out the contaminants that are deeply embedded at the base of the fiber, thereby removing more than what would just happen with, let's say, water rinse extraction all by itself. Also, obviously, if you're using a low moisture system just as low moisture, it also evenly distributes the chemistry and allows for better penetration and better encapsulation of the soils that are in the material.